What's up, everybody? We up in here. Put like a little reminder on, just so people can know when I'm about to lay something down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So obviously, you can see the title of the screen here. The title on the screen here. The reason why I'm making this because a lot of people out here on social media and stuff like that, when it comes to boxing, um, I seriously believe are not fans. The people that I do here on the streets, well, outside of social media that I see and live live and in color, they don't know what the hell they talking about. Um, so it is what it is. I mean, you got different aspects of which I would say majority of UK and US boxing fans are fucking fake. What I mean by they're fucking fake is a lot of the ideas behind why they like a fighter, or the sick idea of how they like promoters, and they want to ride on the coattails of promoters, um and the ability not to even use sound judgment to make a good analysis on certain things. Brother not is Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Dillian White, or whatever the case may be. But we're going to start off with Dillian White. And I didn't write none of this down. We're going to start off with Dillian White. Um, People could come out here and say that Dillian White has been waiting 600 days, which that's false. Then people would say, well, Wilder, the WBC is ducking. Uh, Tyson Fury is ducking Dillian White, and Dillian White as the mandatory. Well, he came to mandatory in 2019 after he fought Oscar Rivas. So that's when he became the mandatory. So how's that 600 days? Um, People they don't want to read the WBC rules. They fly right past that, which WBC rules clearly states the ranked number one guy does just because you rank number one does not make you a mandatory. Um, mm, um, being a mandatory basically means is the WBC has to make a vote. Tyson Fury was never the mandatory; they just mandated the fight happen. So basically, like they forced the fight to happen. He was never the mandatory. The Wonderful Life of Bob J. There's other things with Dillian White that makes me believe majority of UK and US boxing fans are fake. Not just those, but the inability that people out here not read the rules, but also you had a guy by the name of Dominic Brazil, right? You have a guy by the name of Dominic Brazil. This guy clearly was the mandatory opposition. He had the mandatory spot. Dillian White never once brought him up to make that fight. The amount of energy that Dillian White was putting towards Deontay Wilder should have been put towards Dominic Brazil, because obviously Dominic Brazil got his title shot because he was the mandatory. So you had what, almost 2 years to fight Dominic Brazil to take that mandatory position off of him, and you would have been had your your second chance at a world title. This is how another reason why I can tell you how majority of UK and US boxing fans are fake. Now, I'm going to tell you this one thing. YouTube is very small. YouTube is not big compared to how many boxing fans are actually out there in the world. We are a minority, if you really think about it, because a lot of people aren't on YouTube listening to videos about boxing. But guess what? A lot of those people out there call themselves boxing fans. Um, so, and then who was that? Frank Warren came out. Frank Warren, there's another reason why I could tell majority of you guys out there that's click clacking your fingers on YouTube ain't boxing fans. I'm not talking about people I'm not talking about everybody. I'm just saying majority from what I see, right? From what I see. Now, could I be wrong? Yes. But from what I see from my chair right here, what's on Twitter, what's on the social media, what's in these forums, what's on Facebook, what's all the way around, there's a whole bunch of fake ass boxing fans. So Frank Warren came out and said that it was all Edward Hearn's fault, which in intel is kind of true. Now, some people out there want to believe that since Dillian White is on a fight by fight basis with whom? Matchroom Boxing, that means Matchroom Boxing shouldn't have a vested interest in Dillian White's boxing career, which they do because guess what? They get in the cut. But now, guess what? Matchroom Boxing could still be like, well, look at this renegade. Well, you know what a renegade is? A renegade is a prostitute without a pimp. So, since Dillian White didn't fully invest in Matchroom Boxing's pimpitude, or whatever you want to call it, what do you want him to do? What do you want Edward Hearn to do? But is he some part of the blame? Yes, he is. Did he want to come out and say that Dillian White is his friend? Yes, he has. So is this how promoters / friends treat each other? And this is how. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I don't see how you, as a boxing fan, you're on YouTube all day, defending your favorite boxer, defending the UK, defending the US, defending whoever. But when you make videos talking about, when you see videos of people talking about how Dillian White is being ducked and it's a good thing Dillian White is suing the WBC, how come you ain't bringing up the things that's going to be brought up if Dillian White happens to sue the WBC? Because I don't think he's done it yet. And who knows? It might just be some legal proceedings with the WBC, like in-house. When people are signing NDAs and stuff like that in there, and they have their own bylaws and stuff. Maybe it's just that. But who knows? But Dillian White needs to be mindful. If you're going to sue the WBC, it's going to happen in the US. And guess what? You damn for sure don't want that in Mexico. Because you for sure ain't going to get a fair shake. But if that happens in the US, all your business is going to be out there in Front Street. So this is another reason why majority of UK and US boxing fans, in my opinion, are fake. Check this out. Check this out, though. When you sue somebody in the United States, the defense team is going to bring up stuff that you might not want brought up, that you think that they ain't found out. There's a couple of things that Dillian White needs to be mindful of. The gloves with Oscar Rivas. UCAT's inability to do what should have been done and finding your ass and suspending your ass for PEDs, in my opinion. So that stuff is going to be brought up. The Dominic Brazil is going to be brought up. You mean to tell me you signed a piece of paperwork that's saying that you're going to sign up with the WBC and nobody in your camp, not your husband, Dean White, not Matchroom Boxing, not your real promoter, forget his name, nobody out there has brought up Dominic Brazil. Nobody read the WBC rules. So now what you got to deal with is you got to deal with how the defense team is going to make it seem like, which they are, that is your fault. It's your fault. What if your emails, what if Matchroom Boxing emails, Young Merv the Cut Man, gets requested for certain dates, and they have emails in there with Edward Hearn saying that no, Dominic Brazil is a lost cause, but he's the mandatory. So, and you could become a pay-per-view star. You was worried about becoming a pay-per-view star, and this is another reason why majority of UK and US boxing fans are fake. Because you was too busy about selling out arenas. I said this a long time ago in the video a year ago. You was too worried about selling out arenas, right? Becoming a pay-per-view star, fighting people that aren't ranked in the WBC, right? And all that jazz. And guess what you got? Nothing. Nothing to show for it. Absolutely nothing. You got nothing to show for what you did in your career because you chose. You chose to do it. You chose to do it. It wasn't me. It wasn't Frank Warren. It wasn't nobody else but you. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this thing on the screen, but it's a clear depiction on what I'm talking about. You see, because when you start reading this around Robert Bouillonius, right? Lucas Brown, see, Robert Bouillonius, ranked 18th in the WBC. Lucas Brown, ranked 11th. Joseph Parker, ranked 6th. Derek Chisora, ranked 7th. I see that? You had all the way up to Derek Chisora, which was ranked 7th, from Robert Bouillonius to Derek Chisora to figure out how to get that mandatory position. But you didn't. Because you were so hell-bent that getting ranked number 1 in the WBC. Selling out arenas and shit. Right? That's what you was worried about. You was more worried about Robert Bouillonius, Lucas Brown, Joseph Parker, and Derek Chisora and Oscar Rivas before you was worried about who? Dominic Breazeale. Dominic Breazeale was your shot at a world title. Now we could go out there and say, well, the champ at the time, Deontay Wilder, said that, hey, if you fight Louis King Kong Ortiz, right? If you fight Louis King Kong Ortiz and you meet him, I give you a shot. What did you do? Said no. You didn't try to call his bluff. You didn't try to do nothing. Only thing you was doing, too hell and bent and content with selling tickets and selling pay-per-views. You got your money. You got exactly what you asked for. You got a couple little dollars with no title shot. That's your career. Now, another thing. This is how I know majority of these guys out here aren't real boxing fans. You got people out here siding with saying that, well, you know, Tyson Fury is a real good judge. He's a real good guy. He has character. This and the third. That stuff that AJ said about black people disgusts me. And now I'm not an AJ fan anymore. I'm a Tyson Fury fan. You never was an AJ fan. You always was. Some of you guys was just a fan of the gravy train. Who's on top? How can I make myself believe and other people believe I was always a Tyson Fury fan? How can I make myself look good on Twitter and look like a gentleman or whatever the case may be on Twitter and fake people to get people believing in my good, outstanding personality because I'm a Tyson Fury fan? But guess what? Over AJ? Okay, what has AJ done? Was AJ smoking crack? Was AJ around here getting caught with PEDs and blaming it on, of all things, wild boar meat, Canelo? Was he? Was he? Was AJ over there talking about Winston Churchill being this guy and Britain wouldn't be this without blah, 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 with the whoop, but forget what he did? Forget how he strolled through Africa, killing people, mass genocide, cutting people's hands and feet and stuff like that out, raping women, probably raping the dudes out there too. India, Pakistan, nobody talking about that, is they? Nobody talking about what he did with that. Oh, but let's forget about it and Let's make Tyson Fury our people's champion. He's a good judge of character. But look at what he's done look what he done outside of the ring. Character rise. Is AJ walking around here working with a mob boss? Is AJ working with a guy that systematically help, kill people? Because that's what drugs do. Gang wars. Got pregnant women snorting, doing drugs. Is AJ working with somebody that's basically like working with hand in hand with the downfall of your country? Is AJ doing that? Because drugs really ain't no good for nobody. It makes people lazy, makes people dependent, makes people go out there and rob, steal, and cheat. What is AJ doing? But now all of a sudden you are a Tyson Fury fan. And this is another reason why I know that a lot of these guys out here are fake. There's another reason. You would rather listen to somebody on YouTube give you a half-ass story on Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, and Tyson Fury, and sit up over there and believe that Dillian White's career was hindered by Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. You will believe that Dillian White suing the WBC is going to mean a damn thing. You will believe that shit. You will subscribe, send super chats, send donations through third parties and stuff like that. And you will believe those guys. You're not a real boxing fan. LFL player, what's happening? You're not a real boxing fan until you come out here and you actually actively listen to the whole story. And don't and stop bigging up people that's giving after half truth, giving a half-ass story. And then some people be like, oh man, don't knock the hustle and all that stuff. Well, I don't go by them principles. I do knock people's hustles. Because some people ain't worth the damn. They just sitting over here getting over on people. And I ain't getting over on nobody. I've been making videos with no subscribers, and I'm going to continue to make videos with no subscribers and low views and low likes. With or without subscribers, I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be here, give my opinion, bring up the whole thing, and nothing but it. Nothing but it. If you're going to sue the WBC, sue for what? Sue for what? There's nothing out here. There's no proof out here that the WBC has done anything to Dillian White. Now, if I was Devin Haney, I could say something. But guess what? You really can't even say nothing because guess what? It's in their fucking rules. They have rules for a fucking reason. You know why they have rules for a fucking reason? Because guess what? They're binding. And the rules are going to be brought up in court. And what are you going to say? I didn't know that. Ignorance is no excuse for the law, baby. Ignorance is no excuse. That's the reason why I brought up the thumbnail up there. Because it's pure ignorance. To see Dillian White's fights up there, and then try to act like Dillian White did something. Who would believe that? He actually tried to get a title shot. And the last guy you fought was Maurice Wack. You fought Oscar Rivas, but Oscar Rivas was ranked number 10th in the WBC. Nobody even know who this dude was before you fought him. Before you fought him. Doesn't make any sense. People in the LDBC has been stating things. Put it like this. If I'm out here telling you a year ago, 2 years ago, only one person that Dillian White should have fought was Dominic Brazil, and everybody knew it was the mandatory, how come you ain't saying it? Because that was the best possible way for him to get a shot at Deontay Wilder. That was the only scenario where Dillian White could have put his career in his own hands for a title shot. That was the only way. The only way. And he didn't do what he was supposed to do. He tried to make shortcuts and make some money along the way. And now you guys are having pity parties for this guy. Real life pity parties for Dillian White. You guys are having real live propaganda smear campaigns for Anthony Joshua. When Dillian White said he don't want to fight no old man Ortiz, did anybody bring up the old people he fought? The old people that he said that he want to fight? Did anybody bring up that? This dude gonna say he want to fight Mike Tyson because he think that Mike Tyson is going to bring him a lot of money. He think that him fighting Mike Tyson and beat Mike Tyson is going to catapult his boxing career. Mike Tyson ain't fought since when? And how old is Mike Tyson? 50-something goddamn years old. And people want to believe the shit that people spew out of their damn mouth. You don't want to bring that up. Well, y'all, I'm getting up out of here. Got some barbecue to do. And shout out to the LDBC and everybody stay sucker free out there. Also, make sure you guys go out there, check out that Trill website. Make sure you guys go out there and subscribe to L File Player. My boy is Lost D the Pimpin'. Make sure you go out there and watch retro sports and documentaries. Make sure you go check him out. Make sure you go check out everybody that's sit up over here on YouTube that actually tries to give you real good live boxing commentary, boxing history, and stuff like that. And I'm out.